All right.
Maybe like a test run right now. So
That's fine. I screwed up the first time.
All right.
And talk into the microphone. I'll say it once and then
And hello and welcome to the Putback podcast, presented by the Park Daily. My name is Mark Colfit. I'm here with the team podcast counterparts, Nash,
What up?
and the man controlling the board, Smythe.
Hey, what's going on? Didn't call me a DJ. I'm actually happy about this.
Yeah, no, you're far from a DJ.
Your skills are not at that level yet. Not even close.
I thought about it when I was doing the intro, but I was like, yeah, you're not a DJ. The Putback. This is episode 2. Here we talk about basketball-related news.
Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak, swish. Squeak, squeak,
You
swish.
get to hear our view on it and our opinions. Not necessarily right, not necessarily wrong. But
Whoa, hold on.
First of all,
hold on a
I
second.
am right. I am the gold standard in opinions on the NBA.
Yo, turn off Stephen A. Smith. Turn
Right?
off whoever you're listening to.
I like
tune
You
in
need to
right
stop
here.
right here. I am right.
I like to be the the gray the gray area, the gray the gray cloud in this. I don't like to be wrong or right. I just
So
like
you
to
stay
get
there.
my
And I'm right.
Right?
Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm right.
You listen to me all the time.
oh whatever. So guys, how you guys doing? I haven't seen you guys for a week probably.
I'm okay. My new job's like basically busting my butt. Like just got working crazy hours and stuff like that. But we're here. We're podcasting away.
We doing it.
Well, you guys do. I'm kind of here.
It works the same for me. Yeah, nothing crazy new going on. It's Christmas time coming. Christmas shopping. How's everything going for you guys? Is it done? Have you started yet?
No, I didn't even start. I basically well, in my household we don't really give gifts, but we probably give gifts to
We celebrate Kwanzaa, so
Yeah.
we got a little time.
But obviously for the smaller kids we'll probably grab something, but for ourselves personally we don't really give gifts. We just whatever. We just like to celebrate.
But I know
cooking
you're
dinner and
eyeing
stuff.
something though. You're eyeing something.
No, like actually like a gift or something?
There's something you want though.
No, I was thinking about getting a new Xbox. Just to get back into gaming and stuff like that, but then I keep looking at the price and I'm like $300. I'm like,
But remember, you're not buying it. You're getting it as a gift.
no one's gonna give me a gift. We don't need this.
Just ask for gift
First of
cards.
all, $300 for enjoyment is well worth it. So if you're thinking about it and you're like, oh, it's $300, you buy an Xbox.
It says Mr. Moneybags over
I
there.
know.
Right? $300, don't worry about it. I
Oh,
got
I
it.
stopped now. I posted a picture on Facebook today of a little kid, and he's crying while he's like flipping over a pancake or something. And the meme said, "When you have to save your money and stop eating out and cook for yourself now." And I was like, Malone's just us now.
I'm poor.
All right, guys, let's get into this podcast. Let's get into some current news. Anything new is happening in the league?
I got an article up.
Shoot.
Embiid disses Drummond. He can't shoot. Yo, if you're Joel Embid, you're 7 foot, whatever. You have all the technical skills in the world, and you're just trolling the NBA, dissing big men that can't shoot threes or can't do things you can do. Is that fair?
No, not at all.
What a dick.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. Because Drummond can shoot threes now. He shoots threes, and his foul and his free throw shooting has improved greatly. So I don't even know what they're talking about.
No,
You say Drummond can shoot?
He shoots threes now. You know who Andre Drummond's playing like now? And this will get you into watching the Pistons right now. He's playing like Dwight Howard.
Whoa.
Dwight Howard of the past. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
He can shoot foul shots. He steps up.
Embiid shoots threes though. If you leave
I know
Embiid
that.
open at
Wait,
3-point line,
wait. Sorry,
Yeah.
did I miss that? Who said that? Drummond said that Embiid can't shoot?
no, the other way around.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Embiid's the troll. So
Okay,
Embiid's
okay.
on Twitter
So I was
dissing
right.
all the day, and he was saying Drummond can't shoot, and we know already if you leave Embiid open 25 feet from the basket, he's knocking it down.
But Drummond's been taking shots.
So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, is it fair?
Yeah, he's getting shots, but he's not shooting in the volume that Embiid is.
So really, truly, like they are the centers of the East right now. It's
Well,
both of them.
Him, Porzingis as well.
You got Porzingis in the center.
Yeah. He's
Okay,
a
then,
7-footer. I'm not putting him in a power forward.
okay, well, I
Well,
thought I always consider him power forward.
As much as you have Cantor, on the team as well, but I'd still put him at power. I still put him at a center because he still can post up better than Cantor and has more range and more abilities all around. So I'd go with that.
All right. Well, anyway, let's transition to some real news. So let's talk about the Grizzlies here. All right. You guys keeping up with the Grizzlies and what they're doing?
Yeah, not much.
Fizdale got fired.
Everyone's sounding off on that one, man.
I know.
LeBron. Who else? Someone mentioned
Wade.
Wade. There was another person. I think it was an artist.
Really?
I think it was an art. Was it Kendrick Lamar? I think it was, or someone else was actually saying something.
Who cares what Kendrick Lamar thinks?
Hey, but
I'm just saying, a lot of people are
it
saying
just goes beyond NBA players. Like
Yeah.
other players are actually, or other people are actually saying, why he got fired.
Well, in the history of this league, when a superstar and a coach have a disagreement, who goes?
Obviously, the
Coach goes.
Yeah.
That's the way the league works. So it's completely logical to think Fizdale's going to get fired if he benches Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol's like, I'm not really happy with the situation.
Well, apparently how the story goes is that Fizdale was the fall guy. They didn't really like Fizdale anyway. So it was that one game where Gasol got benched in the fourth quarter because Fizdale is basically just they're riddled with injuries. They don't know what to do. So Fizdale's trying to jostle the lineup and stuff like that. So he benched Gasol in that fourth quarter, and right after, that's when he got fired. So apparently they didn't like him anyway because he was only a year and a few games in. So they didn't like him anyway. So they just got rid. It was an excuse to get rid of him.
Time to make a move, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. To me, it's just very. To me, it's just foolish. Fizdale is regarded as one of the better coaches. What's this? The Grizzlies' third coach in 10 years or something like that? I think it is.
Something about that.
Something like that. To me, it screams of desperation. I don't know. I don't understand what you want. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere.
So what needs to be done then, as far as the Grizzlies? What needs to be shaken up?
Well, the rumors are trade Gasol.
That's it. Do you get rid of one of your, I guess, star players? Your premium guys?
Trading Gasol means you're going into a rebuild. So
That's exactly what they're doing.
They're saying they tear it down, is what they're saying at this point.
Okay, well, put it to you this way, Smythe. Can they beat the Warriors?
No one can.
Can they
You
beat
can't
the
compare
Spurs?
that.
Can they beat the Spurs?
Maybe.
No. Can they beat the Rockets?
Maybe.
Can they beat the Thunder? Can they beat
Maybe.
the Timberwolves?
Maybe.
You start going on a list of teams.
Anyone can beat OKC right now.
Yeah,
so.
you start going on a list of teams that you think they can't beat, and if they can't beat them, then what's the point? You keep beating your head against the wall with Gasol, which I like. I love Gasol.
Oh, yes.
And Conley, again, who I like. You keep beating against that wall. It's like, we're not going anywhere with this. So
I guess all that money that Conley's getting really adding up now.
At the end of the day, you got to fill seats. You got to have a good team to fill the seats so you can put money in the pockets of the owners. Winning or losing, it's side by side. Are they a championship team? No. Are they going to have a championship team in the next 5 years, no matter what they do? The answer is actually no. So to break it apart now and to lose games, hopefully getting a superstar player, when you have 2 star caliber players in your team already, is it worth it? And that's what they're thinking about right now.
And I have another question to add to this: is do you make a strong move to rebuild now, or do you make small adjustments and kind of ride out this season as is?
If I was them, because again, you look at the roster, it's not world breaking. If I was them, I would probably be looking to move Gasol because Gasol is let me look this up, 85. Anyway, Gasol's a little older, so
It's 32.
yeah. So
Is
Gasol,
he?
Well, that's the
yeah,
math.
85. So yeah, it'd be 30.
Yeah.
So Gasol's a little older. He has a lot of years left in him. I'd say 5 years or so. You'll probably get a bit of a haul for him now. Mm-hmm. I would probably try and trade him, either get younger players, get draft picks, come back with Conley, try and get rid of handsome Chandler Parsons because he is. And again, it's not his fault because he's plagued with injuries. He's not performing to the level they thought he would. Like, he's coming off the bench. He's getting paid something like $20 million plus. And he's coming off the bench. So
I feel now you have to. I give them 10 games. Now that Fizdale's gone, obviously now things are going to be shaken up. So some guys might get a little more playing time because now how the coaching is, they'll start inserting guys in different.
hold on, what are you
times.
looking for though? Like, you think Mario Chalmers is going to light up the world? What are you looking
No,
for
I'm
by
not
10
saying
games?
that, but I'm saying is guys that were having the rough starts might now start to come around. So handsome Chandler Parsons might start. Not he might not go back to his.
He's not even playing.
He won't go back to his regular self, but he'll, he might start showing improvements over the next 3 or 4 games where his scoring's gone up. He's averaging 15 points or something. he's putting in more on the defensive end, right?
You know what? I think it's more so they're just off to a rough start, and this team isn't good enough to get to the playoffs and make some noise. Like
they can make the playoffs. I'm not saying that.
Right, they finished
Are they
sixth,
going to win?
They get knocked out in the first or second round, and that's who they are.
Are they going to win anything? That's the whole thing.
Right. So if you are thinking championship, Tyreek Evans, Mario Chalmers, like these aren't the guys that play on championship teams. Ben Lackamore is sitting there somewhere. Then you got Gasol. Like this isn't a championship team. So if you're thinking on that plane, you pull this team down right away. Trade Gasol tomorrow, right?
Super Mario's still good though. Remember, we were talking about him. We brought him up. He's still a decent player.
Thank you. But if you put him on the court with elite NBA teams, does he belong there?
He's proven that he can.
Yeah,
he's proven that he can in Miami.
That's a super team.
You brought him up actually.
I love him. I love him in Miami,
him.
But he's not in Miami anymore. There isn't.
I know, but that wasn't your question. You said if he's on the court with elite players, can he be there? He's like, yes, he's proven it already.
No,
he's already proven it already.
Yeah,
I mean, as a main piece to how.
Hold on, you're asking two different questions.
Now I'm asking the question I meant to ask the first time.
We've had a lot of guys that shouldn't be on the court with elite players. Damon Jones back in the day didn't belong on the court with NBA players, and you saw what happened to him.
What I'm saying though is on this Memphis team, is he not a key piece?
Who, him? Right now, because Conley's injured. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a good support, and that's what you need. You need, if some guy's out, I still need someone that's gonna not completely steer the whole ship, but be able to hold stuff down and keep stuff in line at least.
Can Gasol opt out end of this year?
I'm not even sure when his contract's up. You guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
I think he's in an opt out year. If he's in an opt out year, you trade him immediately. That's what I think you should do.
Maybe. All right, let's move on. We've talked about this team far too long.
Who thought we'd go into Mario Chalmers?
I know. I know. Start with the Grizzlies, got into Mario Chalmers. Another team that's not looking so great right now, OKC, and their record.
Rough start.
Very rough.
New players gelling together. They're not sure who fits in what piece. They don't play defense as a unit yet. They're losing games they shouldn't lose, to be honest. Will they turn around? Yes. Will they turn around in time to get a playoff spot to make noise? I don't know. Can they compete with the top four in the West? Probably not. Technically, they're pretty much the exact same team they were last year, if you think about it.
No, actually, not. They actually had more wins at this point than last year.
And Russell had a lot more triple doubles.
Yeah,
but it's a new team, so what's going to happen is they'll get better, and then they'll win more games down the stretch when they have the chemistry together. Chemistry is a real thing.
It could be. Should they be worried? No, because we're only 20 games in. But at the same time, I don't know. They don't look comfortable. That's all I gotta say. They just don't look comfortable. They don't look right. It seems like they take their time. It's like, okay, especially when you get with Melo and Paul George, it's almost like they don't want to step on Russell Westbrook's toes. So they're kind of like, should I go? Should I not? Should I make a play? Should I not? To me, I've always thought that Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, they're good 3-point shooters. So why don't they just running more pick and rolls with Westbrook and have those guys as shooters just to get something? I barely see it, just to get something going. I don't know if you guys see the same thing, but I'm just like, just to get something going, just run a pick and roll.
I feel like it's like they don't have an offense set from the three of them on the court. When you sit one or two of them, the offense runs smoothly with one guy controlling it. All three of them together, they haven't found a way, which is why you have to give credit to stars that build super teams to get together right away. Because when I see a team come together, my big thing I always say to you guys is there's only one basketball. So a lot of times teams that have a bunch of stars together can potentially lose to teams that aren't as good because they don't know where to go. They don't have plays set. They all assume that the ball should go to them. And I think that's what's happening in OKC right now is they're not sure where the basketball should be at any given time.
Oh, yeah. I look at it, you have three guys that were respected ISO players on their teams, and you put them all three together and expect a man that just clearly ran away with the MVP putting up an astonishing amount of triple doubles. Now you want him to kind of scale back from what he did last season and have to play with two other superstars on the same team and try to produce, a powerhouse or something close to it in the West.
And it's surprising to me because they Westbrook and Paul George, they're good defensive players, but their defense isn't good. It just isn't. They look lost. That's all I gotta say. They look lost.
No, of course. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just them as a collective unit not kind of getting on the same page, or is it the coaching staff not being able to readjust how they run their offense and defense with the addition of two other superstars and not having, those role players pick up the slack. Because I find like those guys are doing what they're doing, but the rest of the team's not following suit, and that's what's kind of hurting them.
Well, interesting thing, like there's a story right now going about like them shake up the starting lineup, and the most important thing of that is Carmelo Anthony coming off the bench, and he's dead set against it. But I'm like, at your age, at your skill set, the league knows who you are.
It's like why? Like just come off the bench.
Why not?
Like you're losing. Come off the bench.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't understand the concept of a player being like, no, I need to start for what? If you're gonna play the same minutes, if you're getting a weaker lineup, and if it makes sense, why would you not do it? I don't understand the logic behind that.
Yeah,
Ego,
of course. Because now look, I'll even say we'll just single out Carmelo for a second. You're telling me now I can sit on the bench to start the game. I don't have to go and play hard defense against another superstar. I can come off the bench and have a guy that's weaker than me, and I can bully him, put up my shots, drop 20 points, and then sit back down with a lead, as opposed to having that horrible start to your game, then sitting down frustrated.
And you can always finish the game. Like, it's because you don't start. I don't understand. Is there a bonus for starting in this league?
it's ego.
Right? But, like,
Ego.
At what point are you like, hey, man, I'm an older guy. Let me just come off the bench, get mine. Like, Dwayne Wade's doing it in Cleveland. But guess what? At the start of the season, Dwayne Wade refused to come off the bench. It's the same concept.
Yeah, no, he's coming off the bench.
Well, he is now because they were losing before. But, like, if it's better for the team, I don't see, especially when you're an older guy. If you're 22, 23, like the situation with the Lakers, yeah, I'd be upset about not starting. But, like, you've been tenured in this league for how many years? You have accolades, championships, whatever else. Like, try to win. I don't know.
I don't know. I look at it that once you sign that contract and you got that money, does it really matter if you start or not? Because if I can now come off the bench and drop the same amount, or even drop more coming off the bench than I did starting, and still get paid my money, I'm taking it.
Yep.
That's bottom line. I'm not going to bother. Well, I need to start, and then I go averaging 15 points a game for the next 10 games because I'm starting. But if I come off the bench, I'm going to average 22, 23 points. That's a turnaround. People, they're going to start talking about, well, I'm playing awesome now. And it's like, what's the difference? It's like, I come with a different energy. I know that I'm the go-to person on the court on offense now, so I have more freedom to my game.
Do what I can do.
Okay, let's move on. What else is going on in the league? The Raptors and their reserves.
The Raps got it together. I feel like the Spurs light. They got their stars. They got their bench.
Sorry, what did you say?
What
did you say?
They're like the Spurs. They got a rotation of guys. They know what they want to do every game. They put guys in to get the job done.
Can we edit this part out? Because I don't know. He's talking crazy now.
They can't be the Spurs light?
What?
Why not?
Jeez, you're pretty much comparing. You're saying that the Spurs are the orange and the Raptors are like a clementine. They're in the same family. They're not even close.
I think they're going about their franchise in the same way. They have a strong structure of the young guys are coming up. They are on the bench. They have one of the best benches in the league. They're producing. They have the rotations that are working. They're winning basketball games. Like, I don't know why that's an unfair comparison at all.
That was funny, Smythe. Anyway, so that was hilarious. So, yeah, the Raptors. I think there was one game where both the starting lineup and the bench scored 60 points apiece. The young guys are doing it. Like, the young guys are playing as well as the starters. It's not going to last.
No,
because that's just the way sports works. It doesn't last. You're a bench player for a reason.
I don't think it's partly the way sports works, but it's partly you have that you get that surge. You get that surge out of Powell, OG. You get that surge out of them, but they hit that wall. Remember, you can say,
well, yeah, they're bench players for a reason.
Yeah, they're bench players for. But the thing is that not all bench players are like that. There's guys that are consistent off the bench. Like they're on that second unit for a reason because you're that catalyst. You're the one that makes things happen. So that why would I rock the boat there, right? Unless you feel okay, I belong on the starting lineup. But usually with that, then you're saying, okay, I want more money as well. I don't want to. No one's gonna say I want to start and still keep making pennies. Yeah. Like I want to make dollars now and start.
Yeah. Like, do you see any moves this team is probably going to make, Smythe? Or
this year?
Yeah. I know me and you've talked about it a couple times.
I think OG Anunoby's taking Powell's spot. And I think Powell's... And just because you pay Powell and you don't have to pay Anunoby for another 3 years?
Well, I think there's... I can't remember the rule is, but I don't think they can actually trade Powell this year.
Yeah, trade him next year. Okay,
yeah,
so
they can't actually
after
trade
this year, they'll trade him.
But I think... me and you were talking about it before. Like, I think Valanciunas, probably Powell, a few guys probably there are going to be up on the trading block. I'm hearing rumors about DeAndre Jordan, Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol will be a little tougher. I don't know how they're going to pay 4 guys $20 million plus. That's going to be a little tougher.
You'll have 4 stars and all rookies, basically.
Yeah.
You got so many guys in rookie contract on this team playing.
They got youth, and a lot of teams want youth. There's a lot of teams out there that don't have youth. Like,
well, the youth doesn't have experience. The Raptors have, these guys have 905 experience all the way through, and now they're playing in the big leagues, right? The Raptors now have 2 backup point guards, again, same situation as last year, that can play good minutes on any team. So last year they got rid of Corey Joseph because of the problem of overload. Yeah. And this year it's looking the same thing. The other dude, the long guy's out right now. What's his name?
Delonte Wright?
Yeah, Delonte Wright. Yeah. He's out right now.
And he's probably the backup. He's probably the actual backup.
And Van Fleet's playing great basketball. So when he comes back, it's a situation where you have 3 point guards that can play. Now you have Powell, you have Anunoby, DeRozan, Lowry. Now your backcourt's full. Yeah. Your wing's full, and you got to get rid of some bodies. You just pay Powell. You can get that off the books right away. Someone will take them.
Well, you think like Cavs won't want that youth? Cavs are going to want some young players. Clippers are going to want some young players. Like there's a lot. The Grizzlies want to want those young players. Like there's a lot of young players that these guys can move to bring in some veteran, quote unquote, veteran help and bigger names or whatever.
What do you do with Nogueira and Jacopoto?
I'm keeping them unless somebody wants them in a package. But I'm pretty much keeping them for now.
I'll keep for now. I'll keep Nogueira.
No one wants Nogueira. Everyone wants Poto.
Yeah, everyone wants Porto. Yeah, I'm keeping them for now, unless it's in a package somewhere and I'm getting someone back, like a DeAndre Jordan or something. But for now, I'm keeping them.
I like Nogueira. He doesn't go too far beyond his means. It's a high screen and rolls.
Yeah,
he gets the ball. He almost reminds me like a dumbed down version of Noah.
Oh yeah.
Like he sets that pick and rolls straight to the basket. You give him the ball, he's like, okay, I'm not gonna even try to dribble the ball. I'm just gonna try to give it off to the next person. I'm gonna do the same thing again, and that's what I want from him. I don't want anything else. I got enough people that are scoring, enough people that think they can score. I don't need you doing it. Grab your boards, get your garbage points, be my junkyard dog again.
With all this depth the Raptors has, when the playoffs start, you short your bench. That's basically how it works. With the shortened bench, are the Raptors good enough to stay on top of the East?
Are they good enough to stay on top of the East?
You're not playing 12 on 12.
They're probably going to finish anywhere between 3 to 6, which is a lot of teams in the East. I know I'm kind of copying out there a little bit, but yeah, it's anywhere between 3 and 6.
Yeah, we're saying 5.
Somewhere around there.
They're coming in at 5.
Nah, I don't know. I haven't.
Because you got Detroit, you got Cleveland, Boston. What are you thinking?
Boston, Cleveland, Toronto. But
I'm not even mad at that. Like it could happen. I'm not mad at that. Like
the problem is when you're not playing 12 players, how good is this team? When you've got to play deep and you're playing games and back to backs and 3 and 4s and all that stuff, using your bench is important. The Raptors have a bench to compete every night with the minutes being distributed.
Like right now, they're tied with Detroit. Like you got Detroit, you got Philadelphia, you got Milwaukee. Like I think anyone of those teams can probably finish third, if anything.
Yeah.
You think it's solid? Like the top 3 are just Cleveland, Boston, Toronto.
Yeah, consistency.
That's right. I'm not even mad at that. That's whatever.
All that's left up in the air as far as teams staying healthy and guys not being traded, right?
Yeah.
And with that, let me go into some injuries and some, I guess, news that kind of came out of nowhere. Well, I guess the most talked about one, or kind of talked about, was just the whole departure of like Derrick Rose, just kind of taking that back seat.
Yeesh.
It kind of threw me for a loop. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's trying to battle, like, mentally.
He's mentally sick. That's all it really comes down to, right?
Well, yeah, me and you talked about that earlier too, right? Yeah.
That, at the end of the day.
Like, think about this, kids. You played basketball your whole life. This is how you make your living. You're now MVP in what, his second year or third year or something like that. Anyway, you're MVP. Everyone's telling you, yeah, you're going to be the next one to stop LeBron James. You aren't going to be that guy. You get hurt, have to come back. Get hurt again, you got to come back. You're not the same player. You keep getting hurt over your body. You want to come back. You want to play, and then your role keeps getting diminished. You're not the same player you were. That would I know that would F with me. That would really F with me.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. And what makes it worse, or actually adds to it, is social media. Social media it's posted everywhere. Your friends are telling you. Your family is telling you.
Derrick Rose, you suck. Like
I'm hearing people are saying you suck, and they're making memes about you, and things that aren't even basketball related. They're attaching your name to it now, right?
Well, you had that whole like rapey mess in New York last year as well, right? And his kid, there's so much pressure there. And then he gets brought back on with Cleveland, which championship aspirations all around. Lots of pressure. He doesn't have time to like relax and family stuff. It's work there. It's a lot of business going on. They have a goal they're trying to meet.
Oh, yeah.
And with Thomas going down, he's thrown into the spotlight. On top of everything else, now he's in the spotlight. Star-studded team, huge pressure on him. Broke down, man.
Yep.
I find he is going along the same route as J. Cole. J. Cole came out as an artist a certain way. He had his style and
I was sitting here trying to think, J. Cole, who did he play for again? I thought you were going to go to a basketball player. I'm thinking to myself, who did he play for? No, J. Cole.
We're not just basketball here on the Putback. We like to throw in things here and there. No, but J. Cole as an artist came out.
Yeah.
He was not flashy, but he was there. He was making a surgence, and then he kind of went dormant. Didn't hear about him. He wasn't on social media. Then he came back, and he had a better understanding of what he was and what he wanted to be as an artist. And I find like that's what Derrick Rose is going through, is that he doesn't know. There's so much pressure. He wants to take a time out to kind of find out the player he wants to be and the player he can be now with what's
or
happening.
even if he wants to play basketball.
Yeah.
There's a contract here for him this year.
Yeah, other side of the fence. Like, he's signed in Cleveland with the hopes of having a great year and scoring a big contract. I think he's done. I think this is it for him. I think he's like, you know what, I had a career. It didn't go the way I wanted to, but I still did some great things here, and that's it.
Could be.
You can't come back from falling off a championship pedigree team.
Oh no, jeez. He's done so much so quickly, and it kind of just now kind of came to a crashing halt. He almost like fell from grace.
You know what? He didn't really, because last year he had a good season.
Yeah.
A decent season. It wasn't MVP.
It wasn't
type.
MVP,
That's what he means. Like he was an MVP to being now you're a decent point guard who was going to give me 10 points.
Yeah, a decent point guard on a team that wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
those guys. Here's the thing about MVP is you got 2 or 3 generations, 2 or 3 players per generation that can win it multiple times. Everyone else,
you take turns or whatever.
Dirk Nowitzki got one. Karl Malone got one.
LeBron should have got that one that Dirk got, but whatever.
Yeah, you can pull one off.
And Jordan should have got that one that Karl Malone got.
Is Derrick Rose in the conversation of guys that could have won multiple MVPs?
No.
He could. Well, now he's not. He could have been.
I don't think he ever was.
If he was playing, the boy he's playing, because he was playing. He was like a Russell Westbrook, John Wall hybrid type player. Like he could have been in, maybe not have won, but he could have been in the conversation for those going forward.
Yeah.
I feel if he didn't get that injury, then Chicago would be in a far different position than what they are. They'd probably be up there competing with...
No, they would have messed it up. Chicago loves messing things up. They're a horrible organization.
I don't know. That's neither here or there, you know?
They would have been around the conversation. For sure.
Yeah, he would have been in the conversation almost every year. Yeah.
Right now, because it's 6 years later, I think his window still would have passed. He would have still been a good player, don't get me wrong, but...
You mean the Bulls window?
Forget the Bulls. I think Derrick Rose as an MVP candidate. He got one. I don't think he's the guy.
If he didn't get hurt, you're saying?
Yeah, even if you're hurt. He's still be a good player, don't get me wrong.
I disagree with that, but
you'd be John Wall.
Maybe. I kind of disagree with that. I think he's way better than John Wall. I would have took him over John Wall.
Far more explosive, a lot more aggressive.
He would have, like Westbrook type. He would have been one of the better players in the league.
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't know, but, you know, it is what it is. It's not the best situation. It comes at a weird time. You figure that would have came a little bit earlier in the season or even before the season started, that he would have just took that back seat and said, let me just figure stuff out as opposed to kind of starting the season. But it is what it is, though. The return of some players. Isaiah Thomas is coming back a little bit ahead of schedule, they saying, mid-December. So hopefully before
Christmas.
Christmas.
I didn't even hear that. Okay.
They're saying, yeah, mid-season. They're saying mid-December he should be back. So hopefully before the Christmas game he should be back. If not...
Yeah, they're rolling right now. It could hurt or help, but whatever. We'll see.
Can't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt.
They starting Jose Calderon right now at point guard.
Well, they found a flow and they found a rhythm, so they're winning right now. So now they got to adjust again. But in the long run, it's good. In the long run, it's good.
You just put Isaiah Thomas in there, and LeBron James cannot play 40 minutes a game. Yeah, it's a great situation for the Cavs. But like we talked about before, it's the Cavs. Mm-hmm. Remember last time we were here, they're in 11th.
Yeah.
Right now, where are they? Second.
Whatever.
Right? Like, okay.
It's the Cavs. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. It's the Cavs. Anyway, moving on.
Tony Parker's back now, finally.
Yep. Still waiting for Kawhi. Still
waiting. I'm hoping he comes back soon, man.
They're winning games, though.
Yeah, they're
winning games. The pop way.
But that's it, because Pop has a system, and guys are slowly integrated into that system, so they continue to win. They'll lose a couple games.
Hey, so are the Raptors. Just throwing that out there.
You know what? We're going to edit that out too. Never again in this podcast will you ever compare, you're going to mention Pop or Dwayne Casey in the same sentence. Unless you're saying one is far greater than the next. Never on equal playing fields.
Anyway, continue.
That's nonsense. Continue. I lost my train of thought.
Because you're talking about Spurs' system.
No, they have a good system. Yes. It's been, we've seen it for the last, 10 years now? Almost.
Plus.
But 10 years plus of a system that is solid. Yep. They might not finish in the top 3 sometimes, but their system is solid. They'll still
have they ever not finished the top 3? I think the lockout year maybe.
But they're pretty much always there. They're 50 wins guaranteed every season.
How many is it? 10 seasons now at least with Pop?
I think it's 13.
Yeah, with 50 plus games.
Was he there in 99?
No, they didn't win 50 games all the way back. I think this will be season 3. And I'm counting this year already before they even get there. Right? And that's how good they are.
Oh, no, and that's rightfully so. Like I said, they have a great system. And for them to win without having Parker and Kawhi, and now you're getting back Parker.
Without Kawhi is impressive. Without Kawhi.
Yeah, without Kawhi.
You can make an argument that he's the second best player in the league. And they're still winning games in the West. An improved West.
But he's probably comparative to DeRozan, right?
So they also lost Simmons.
Yeah.
This Spurs team.
He's great.
All right, well. I guess.
What can you say? It's like the Cavs. It's just like you said about the Cavs. It's the Cavs. Of course they're there.
They're a staple in the league. They know what to do. Regardless of injuries or losing a guy that is on the up and coming, they know how to kind of keep it rolling. And those are the kind of organizations I like. Are organizations that, regardless if they lose a superstar or they trade away someone, they still manage to know
there's not many of those.
How to pick and choose players that are going to fit well so that team stays consistent. Because if not, then you end up like teams like Atlanta or Washington or Phoenix Suns. Like you rebuild, but you demolish and then you rebuild.
Yeah, there's not many of those guys. There's not many of those organizations, man. I tell you, like you even try to name another organization in the NBA. You might get to maybe 3.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe 3. Like Aldridge right now, he's having a career year. I thought it was like last year he was playing well, like better than people thought he was, but this year it's probably because Kawhi's not there. He's playing
a little more freedom, right? Yeah. A little more freedom to shoot and do what he has to do.
I think he's learned his role now.
Yeah,
and he didn't understand the concept of he knows like. When he came to this team to be himself, to score, to carry this offense.
Well, most people wanted another Duncan, right?
Right. Right. So, and then when he came in, he didn't understand that. He thought he was supposed to share the ball, play in the system. But Pop was like, hey, man, if you don't want to play, you sit. If you come on the court, you shoot the ball.
Yeah.
I need 30 points.
Yeah,
we'll find the rest. We'll find the defense. We'll find everything else. You're here to score. And now he's sitting down. I think he's discovered this year. Pop sat him down probably and said, hey, man, remember that guy in Portland? Yeah, if you're not that guy, we're going to get another guy.
Yeah.
And he started putting up the numbers. So good on you, sir.
Oh, no, for sure. Last thing we'll talk about, and then we'll kind of roll into our round table discussion. The Porzingis injury. Did you see it?
I didn't like it. I hate looking at injuries. I saw it flash on Instagram.
I heard it was bad. Yeah, exactly.
I just don't like. He's fine.
Yeah,
like,
I thought he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Like the way it happened, it bent and then it bent again. I was like, oh, jeez.
I don't like looking at injuries.
I heard it was bad, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to describe it for you guys because I feel queasy when I start talking about injuries. But yeah, he's fine.
These big, tall, guard-like guys, their freak injuries happen to them.
But is that going to hurt? Is that going to hurt the Knicks for the next couple weeks? Because I know he's not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, they're going to suck without him.
Okay, when you say hurt, what do you mean by hurt? Like,
are they going to lose games? Because right now,
are they going to lose games? Sure. But what did you expect out of these guys? Did you expect them to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Going into the season, you thought they're going to make playoffs?
In this East?
Well, you gave the unicorn the head.
You're lying. He's not even telling the truth. Why do you always lie? You're lying. You never thought to yourself, okay, Nick's going to finish down the bottom.
I thought, I can honestly say that I thought with the removal of Melo and giving Porzingis the helm to kind of control, that they would be a little bit better. They might fight for, the 8th spot, maybe the 7th, depending on how...
Which is what they're doing right now. Yeah, they're doing that.
Depending on how crappy the other teams in the East are. But I figured that would be, what would happen, right? I never thought that Detroit would be where they are right now. So that's kind of a shocker to me, too, as well. Mm-hmm. So with this injury, I feel like, the next couple of weeks are going to be a little rough, depending on who they face. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, and then he has to come back at 100% and play the game, play the same way after having a severe ankle injury like that, especially on his right foot, which is probably more his dominant driving and pivoting foot. So
no, he's a righty. Probably drive with his left.
Can I say one thing though? Can I say one thing? Just I like to say when I'm your boy Dwight Howard there, Smythe on Charlotte. Even though they're not in a playoff picture, again, it's early times. He's playing very, very well.
Yeah,
he's playing very well.
He is who he is. He's going to be your top rebounder.
He wasn't like that in the last 5 years, but he's playing very well right now.
The scary thing is the numbers are around the same.
Yeah, but no, his play is different. His play is way different.
And I can appreciate you saying exactly that, but like numbers wise, he's not really playing much better than you. Like in Atlanta, he gave you around the same thing. The only difference we have now is he's scoring. And the scoring, it's 2 more points a game than he scored last year.
Yeah.
So, for us to say he's playing way better, meh. To say he's on a better team.
The numbers say that he's playing this, like the actual, the big numbers, like rebounding points, blah, blah, blah. That's it. But if you actually look at him now.
He's having dominant games again.
He's playing way better. Now, mind you, Kemba Walker's out, so that's probably the reason. That's probably the reason why Charlotte's at the bottom of the East. But Dwight Howard's playing very, very well. Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's giving up more. He's putting up more highlights.
He lost weight too.
He has to, man.
He lost weight.
You gotta say he can't be big. He can't be big on a team that's going to be fast and an up-tempo team. Because that team is fairly young.
Yeah. He's also turning the ball over at an exponential rate.
Is he? I didn't even look at those numbers.
Did you see him against Toronto?
9.
He put up some flashes there, but
no, I don't crossover. I posted the group. You see that? Woo! That's highlight of the week.
That's great. He's not Porzingis. I don't need you at the 3-point line trying to cross up someone. Dude, he was lucky he got the slam down on him.
It was at the bottom of the key. It wasn't even a 3-point. It was up the baseline. It gave him and it was a full on crossover into 2-hand, 2-foot.
He was having his way against the big men on the Raptors, but they lost. But he was playing well. There was a handful of Valanciunas.
Yeah, but what do you expect?
Yeah. That's Valanciunas. That's neither here or there, man. I don't want to talk about that guy anyways. Anywho, guys. Let's get into our little round table discussion here.
We need a name for it.
I know. Well, it's only the second episode. Man.
It's the other part of the show. That's what we have to call it from now.
Yeah, just the round table for now. Well, we're sitting on something rectangle, but whatever. Defensive players. I want to talk about defensive players in a whole. Not teams, but a player. I want to know what deems a player a stopper. Because you can say back in the day, Bruce Bowen was a defensive stopper. You would always have him always have him guarding.
Can I say something though? Can I say something though? Like maybe correct you on this.
Okay.
I don't think there's such thing as a stopper in the NBA. I don't think there's someone that can just. Because is there anybody ever in the league that's going to stop Jordan from dropping 30?
Okay.
Is there anyone in the league right now that's going to stop LeBron James from dropping 30? No. There's no such thing as
True enough.
a quote unquote stopper.
Yes, quote unquote. I should have said quote unquote stopper because you can't stop a player. You can only contain him, or you can
make it harder.
Make it harder. Like you have the Patrick Beverleys, which are few and far between, that are smaller guards that manage to play that very tenacious defense and hold guys down or make it more
or just
difficult.
annoy them.
Yeah, regardless if it's Steph Curry will still drop his 30, but he might have to take an extra 10 shots to achieve it, right? And you'll see, okay, he scored 30, but his shooting percentage is lower than what it usually is in the game, only because of that defensive player that kind of not put the clamps down on him, but made it a little more difficult.
The reality of it is a defensive stopper is someone that takes someone he's used to shooting in a certain space or a certain percentage and lowering it. So if a guy usually puts up 24 points on 15 shots, and that game he has to take 26 shots with 24, you've done your job as a defensive stopper.
Yeah.
Right now, is there shut down defensive players? No, this league doesn't allow that. We know that.
Kawhi Leonard, Rudy Gobert are the closest guys to them because when they're on the court, the numbers show that the team tends to, like say Kawhi Leonard was on the right side. Teams will tend to come from the left side now because they're on the right side. So that's what the numbers tend to show. Like they avoid these great defensive players.
Well, the players play man to man, so but they wouldn't avoid you won't avoid giving the ball to Kevin Durant because Kawhi Leonard is guarding him. It's just if Kevin Durant wants to put up 30 points, it's going to take him 10 more shots.
Well, that's again kind of false. What you'll try to do is switch to get him off him.
Yeah,
that's what teams try to do now. They try if Kawhi Leonard's on Kevin Durant,
you're going to screen. They
keep screening and they kind of try to switch to get him off him because they know he's going to hinder his progress or whatever of scoring.
And if I can cut in there for a second, off of that point of, okay, we'll use Kawhi and Kevin Durant. If Kawhi's guarding Kevin, yeah, like you said, you're going to give him screens. Wouldn't you want that more ISO ball? Because if, quote unquote, Kawhi's that stopper, and the way the league is now with calling fouls, I want that head-to-head matchup because.
Why?
Because if I can draw 2 fouls quick on Kawhi, that means he's on the bench. That means it gives me more range to go back into my game and continue shooting.
But good defenders don't foul. So if Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard are going head to head, because again, and you look at LeBron James when he actually tried 100% of the time to play defense. Not saying he doesn't play defense, but now he takes plays off. When he tried to play it, there was that stretch of games where he never fouled, which is impossible. By the way, it was impossible.
Not good defense. Good defenders get fouls called on them less. And one of the biggest issues in the NBA,
they don't foul.
No, star power trumps all in this league. There would be a guy is known for playing defense. He'll get away with more stuff than a person that is not known for playing defense, which is why rookies get the whistle blown them 10 times more than veterans.
There's truth there. There's some truth there.
Which is why star players get more calls than random players doing the same moves to the basket, right? Kawhi Leonard will not get called for the same kind of fouls that OG Anunoby is going to get called for, say, for instance.
Yeah.
Because of tenure in the league, and he's known as being a stopper, which is why if you're Kevin Durant, you don't want the one-on-one matchup because you're going to get a tough shot, you're not going to get the foul call, and potentially you're going to lose a possession for your team.
Yeah, makes kind of sense to me. I don't know. It holds a different spot for me with just defensive players because I see them, and I almost ask the question sometimes to myself that where do they really fit on a high offensive team?
A defensive player?
Yeah.
Well, a defensive only player?
Yeah,
you look at a Rudy Gobert, who still gives you 15, 20 points, but without him, that team is pretty much sunk. I personally believe you need those guys. Like, you look at the Warriors, they're full of defensive players. Draymond Green is one of the best. And Kevin Durant now is playing excellent defense. He's staying in front of his guys. I think he's leading the league in blocks, I think.
But we'll say a more defensive-minded player. So is that we'll say the DeAndre Jordan type player.
Mm-hmm.
You give him the ball 10 feet up from the basket. He's not taking a jumper. because he's not. He
I think he can.
He can, but he won't. It's not his game. It's not part of his game.
Okay.
You throw the ball up in the air towards the basket. Definitely, he's jumping for it and trying to put it down on someone.
I think Draymond Green's a bad example because me personally, I believe that Draymond Green is the Warriors. I
don't think so. I think
so. If you take Draymond Green off the Warriors,
they don't skip a beat much.
Oh, I highly disagree with that. I highly disagree. That's another topic. That goes way more into defense.
You better go on 2K and make that trade and see what happens. And see what the ratings is as the players.
That goes into a different conversation. But anyway,
I think almost any one player on that team is irreplaceable. But like for instance, on the Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson.
Okay, but you're going to a different context. We're talking about defense. We're going into a way off topic. We can talk about that next week. But
no, but I'm saying Klay Thompson, for me, positional wise, probably the best defensive guard in the league, right?
Arguably, yeah. He's
Right?
probably one of the best. Yeah.
Right, so you have a team of high elite scorers, and you have clutch defensive players that make that team work on both sides of the ball. So you have Thompson on this team, Iguodala also clutch defender, and you have Green. You have three guys that can shut down on defense, right? Kevin Durant can play great defense because he's 7 feet tall and he stretches right? And now he's dedicating himself to blocking shots. You're going to win if you have guys, elite players that play defense at a top level, doing the right things. But would you consider Klay a defensive specialist?
Specialist? In this league, yes.
He draws all the assignments, right?
In this league, yes. I call him a defensive specialist, but he also he plays. We also can play offense too. But yes, in this league, I do to consider him a quote unquote defensive specialist. There are other guys I think who are more. But anyway, go on.
I'm on the fence on that one because even it was last year's playoffs. There's a stretch of playoff games where he'd pick up 2 quick fouls where, like you said before, good defensive players.
No, that was Nash, and that's the most wrong I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, keep going. Clearly, players get fouls. Defensive players get fouls. They play
they do. But there's a stretch where he would pick up 2 quick fouls and have to sit on the bench in the first quarter.
Yeah, it doesn't happen all the time though. That was 2 games I believe in the playoffs. But through the whole playoffs, I think that happened to him.
Yeah, players don't get fouls. And if you're drawing the toughest defensive assignment,
two games out of.
There's a bigger
18.
chance of you getting right. There's a bigger chance of getting in foul trouble if you're guarding top players.
2 games out of 18. I know.
So there's that as well.
That's crazy. 2 games out of 18. Anyway,
yeah, you got to stress that fact.
Yeah, 2 games out of 18. He got into real foul trouble in the playoffs.
Hey, but remember, he's that more offensive.
Well, he's guarding the best player.
Yeah.
It's not his fault
because they hide. Curry, because he's not that great.
He's incapable of playing defense. There's a difference.
He tried playing defense when he was young, and look what happened to him.
You
see those ankle braces he wears?
Hey.
There's a reason why
it's
he
not
has
his
them.
fault, man. He thought he can do it on both ends.
Well, let me ask you guys this: who when you think of defensive players in this NBA history, just who's that guy you say yes? That's I have Michael Jordan on one end, and I want to defend him with this guy. Who are you putting up against him?
Scottie Pippen.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Damn you, look like that. Damn you.
I thought both of you guys would say the exact same thing.
No,
actually, some people would actually say Michael Jordan to guard Michael Jordan. He was a good defender. He was a good defender.
He was. I go with Smythe's decision on Pippen because
I do too.
1, he had the length, and 2, he was versatile. He could guard a guy a little bit taller than him. He could guard a guy smaller than him, and it was to his advantage, right? Just because he had the speed.
Now, mind you, in today's NBA, I'm not sure how good of a defender Pippen would have been.
Well, he'd be Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa, what?
No.
Yes, Kawhi Leonard and Scottie Pippen are basically the same player.
I feel like Scottie Pippen is not as quick as Kawhi is.
You can argue that. Okay, you can make an argument, but as far as the quality of player, they're the same player.
Yeah, it's the same. Well,
they're the same player, pretty much.
Pippen would be probably faster because he lives in this time. But I think it's a high. Like Kawhi Leonard is the evolution of what Scottie Pippen was.
Yes.
Yeah, you can say that. That's a fair comment and a great comment to say. Not that Toronto and Spurs comments you were making earlier.
Guys, it's a great comparison.
No, it's not.
Whatever.
The more I look at this, the records are basically the exact same.
He's looking at the records, and that's it. He said, "Oh, they have the same records. They're the same player."
No,
anyway,
the records. The way they run their franchise is exactly the same.
No, they don't.
It's yes.
Anyway, no, they don't. But anyway, so I'm always of the mindset that you need a center. If your center does not play defense, your team is sunk. Do you guys agree with that?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Name the last 5 championship teams.
Yeah, name the last 5 championships. Smythe.
Golden State,
Who was
Cleveland.
playing the 5?
Exactly.
Draymond Green.
What?
Draymond Green.
No,
Yes.
no.
They always said Draymond Green played in the last seconds, and they had Bogut the year
Exactly.
before.
Bogut, thank you.
Yes, he's a defensive player.
Is he?
Bogut is a defensive player.
Is he a great defensive player?
This is the thing, kids. Smythe only pays attention to one side.
did
Once the team goes on the other side of the ball, Smythe does not pay attention.
Did he anchor a championship team with his defense?
Yes, the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors.
They won. They did not. It was in zero part due to Bogut's defense.
The Miami
Zero.
Heat, who was playing the 5? Chris Bosh.
No, you're naming power forwards that they put at center. That is not your center.
That's
anchor
the way
to
the
defense.
league goes.
They're not centers, so you can't even. What you're saying is
The Spurs?
You're saying is you
The
take
Spurs.
the power forward and make him the center.
Yes,
How
that's what
many
they did.
championships do the Spurs had in the last 5 years?
The Spurs? How many championships have they had in the last 10 years? The Spurs?
Now,
Tim Duncan at center?
I said 5. You said 10. In the last 10 years, Tim Duncan.
No,
David
I'm
Russ-
talking about championship teams. So
Thank
when
you.
you win a championship, if your center is not playing defense, you tend to not play well. And again, when the Spurs do win a championship, who's at center? Tim Duncan. If you look back at all
That's
the great
1 out of
championships,
3 right now. If
If
you
you
just
look-
said look at all.
who was in the Lakers in the 80s? Kareem. In the Celtics in the 80s, Robert Parrish. The Celtics of the 60s, Bill Russell. If your center can't play defense, you're sunk.
Well, we just talked about Golden State and Cleveland, the last 3 championships. Who won before
Tristan
that?
Thompson? Tristan Thompson, that's all he does is play defense.
Who won before
You roll
that?
your eyes, but that's all he does is play defense.
But he's not a great defender. He's not the anchor of the team. We're not saying without Tristan
I said-
Thompson's
what did I say?
defense.
What did I say?
If he doesn't play great defense.
If your center can't play defense, you're
no,
sunk.
you changed your statement right there. So in changing your statement, you've now changed the entire situation. There's a lot of centers that can play defense on championship teams, but
Like who?
anchors,
Like who? And now I'm turning to you. I've already given you so many examples. Like who?
Andrew Bogut can play defense. Is he the defensive anchor of the team? No, he's not.
But he can play defense. That was my point. He can play defense.
All centers can play defense.
No, they can't. Because Valanciunas can't.
Are they a championship team?
No.
Oh, right.
Well,
then.
the way you're talking here, it looks like they might be
You're
soon
comparing them
enough.
to the Spurs, so clearly.
I think they have potential. Listen, the Cavs didn't beat them last 2 years. They might have went to the finals both years. That's all I'm saying.
The Celtics, when they won with the big 3, Kevin Durant, and
Well, Kevin Garnett, you mean?
Kevin Garnett, what did I say?
Kevin Durant.
Oh, sorry.
Another
This is Kevin
power
Garnett.
forward again.
Kevin Durant and...
If you change your statement to if you don't have a great power forward to anchor your defense, then you'd be right. You're just saying a bunch of power forwards they put at center. Thanks.
because they play power forwards at center nowadays, Smythe.
Well,
Isn't that this whole thing about small ball? You play power forwards at center, correct?
not on these teams. There were centers here that weren't good on defense.
Like who?
We just talked about Andrew Bogut, Tristan Thompson. They're not defensive anchors. They're defensive players. They don't play offense. Okay.
So who in the league now
Is a defensive anchor?
that is a listed center is a defensive anchor?
Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Jordan,
Marc Gasol.
Marcus Gasol, Andre Drummond. There are guys.
They're guys. If you think Kristaps Porzingis, if you think Kristaps Porzingis is the center, but I think he's more of the power
But they
forward.
say,
But yeah,
but they have him. I think they have him listed as a power forward. Right?
power forward. Like those positions, it's you're getting because the whole time Tim Duncan was listed as a power forward.
Mm-hmm.
We all know he was a center. He was the center. We all know that.
Because remember,
So
that-
to get
play
lost
two
in the list what they have listed, it's crazy.
Well,
It's
if there's
crazy.
a bigger dude that plays the center position on the team, I'm going to call the other guy the power forward. That's just how this league works.
All right, so you think you're going to win this argument on semantics?
I'm not even trying to win. I'm just saying that a defensive anchor is not the key to a championship in this league anymore. There was a time when it was. Don't get me wrong. Not in the last, I would almost say 10 years.
Well, I've given you examples in the last 10 years.
You just
Spurs.
gave me power forward, won championships. And they gave you the Spurs, who won one championship in the last 10 years.
Okay. Well, if you're okay, well, let me adjust it for Smythe because if your big man can't play defense, then I think you're sunk.
Well, that's a true statement.
yeah,
And you had the Bulls who had Rodman too. So
yeah. I was gonna say Rodman as far as it, but Rodman wasn't that guy that could stop everyone. He was that.
no, but he was still.
Yeah, I know.
He plays defense. I think
Rodman stopped the other guy from scoring.
because your big man slash center is your last line of defense. As much as people like to say the three ball is dominating the league, you still have to get to the basket. If you don't get to the basket, you're not going to win. I don't care how many shots you take outside. You
yeah, no.
have to get to the basket.
Of course, no.
So if your center can't stop that guy to get to the basket, i.e. blocking and stuff like that,
i.e.
changing shots and stuff like that, then you're not...
i.e. Valanciunas.
Why is everyone talking bad about it?
Because he can't play defense.
It's not his fault. He's in this league to do one thing.
Straight
and
trash.
If he can't get the ball in the post, then it's
I
hard.
don't know if he's trash. He just can't play defense.
This man, he's the slowest guy on the court.
He's great if you utilize him. If you don't utilize him, it's tough, man.
Do you guys have a list of top defenders you like? Like guys you just like, I like that guy playing defense.
Dude, there's one guy we've been talked about it all, and I think
In history. I was saying in history.
Oh, ever?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like Gary Payton, like Isaiah Thomas, like Joe Dumars.
Nah, I wasn't too much of a Joe Dumars fan. His defense. I like Grant Hill in the latter.
Grant Hill.
Latter
I was waiting for
years.
someone to say that.
No, because they deemed him back in Phoenix. They deemed him as that stopper. Remember, you saw that he was guarding Kobe all the time.
Yep.
For an older guy at that time in the league, still he was guarding, a surging or one of the better players in the league at the time, Kobe Bryant. And he, like you said, he wasn't stopping him, but he made it a little more difficult to kind of get his shots up, right?
Avery Bradley. We didn't talk about Avery Bradley yet.
Avery Bradley.
Oh, these short guys,
Single-handedly
man.
took the Pistons.
Jerry Sloan on the Bulls. Like he was...
Oh, jeez.
What?
Jerry Sloan?
Yeah, Jerry Sloan. He was a defensive player.
Would you dug back in the face? I don't even think I saw footage of that guy playing defense.
Kevin McHale.
What's my man's name on the Spurs?
Tim
Sean
Duncan. Bowie. Bowie was basically their... Bruce
Sean
Bowen. Bowie.
Sean Elliott was the before Bruce Bowen.
Yeah. Sean Elliott in the 90s.
No, Sean Elliott was great.
Yeah, he was Bowen before Bowen.
Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
John Stockton.
I like Stockton.
Larry Bird. Metta World Peace.
Yo, Larry Bird didn't play defense.
Yeah, Metta World Peace was like the second coming of Rodman.
Yo, remember the greatest season of all time?
At the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was ruined. That team might have been the best team in the history of the NBA.
A lot of people said Karl Malone played great. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
And
I watched.
Craig Ostertag played great.
Yeah. I thought it was more Ostertag than anything. I just like people say he played. I didn't see it.
I like Dikembe. Dikembe.
Sure. We should have mentioned that. Dikembe Mutombo.
Dikembe is the one that
centers.
going back to our little talk a second ago was he was the guy. He was your anchor. No matter if everyone got beat, you still had to get
No.
you still had to get the hand around that basket.
He lived to block shots though.
But that's it. He gambled a lot.
I want a center that lived to block shots. I'll take that.
Oh no, that was great.
And all the ensuing points you give up, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, you got Robert Parrish, Bill Russell, who was the only guy that could stop arguably the greatest force in the NBA. Will Chamberlain was Bill Russell, so got to put him up there too.
Yeah, it was
Jordan, Walt Frazier.
Yeah. I'm still stuck on that Jerry Sloan one. Jeez. I gotta go watch the footage.
I gotta check to make sure he played defense.
I know you played, but played defense.
No, you played defense. You play good defense.
You got stats on this?
No. What am I, a stat guy? I watch games, bro.
I don't know what games you're watching with Jerry Sloan.
I've never seen Jerry Sloan play. I'll say it like that.
I don't think I've seen him or maybe in 2K I've seen him, but that's about it.
No, he never made a 2K greatest team.
I like the history of the NBA. That's probably one of the sports I just love digging back into.
That's ancient stuff, man. You dug a crate for that stat there.
It was only the 60s.
That's what we should do. We should dig into the all-time great teams with 2K. You guys know this year's game has all the best teams ever?
Oh, yeah.
So many defensive stoppers make those teams.
Also got Rondo. But a lot of people point to steals as these great stats. How do you view steals as far as a defensive player? Is it essential to you, Mark? Is it essential to you?
Steals to me is a very finicky stat. Because if I gamble on a pass going to another player
that's what it is.
And I manage to intercept it, that's a steal.
But the guy, if you don't intercept it, you just gave a guy your path to the basket.
I'm in the opposite. I value steals more than blocks because a steal is an automatic turn of possession. If you're talking about possessions, like if you can earn your team 2 to 3 extra possessions per game, it's a plus. Plus, if the team doesn't score, so those are potential swings of 4 to 6 points, right?
But I find the steal is no different. The steal is just like the block. You said I can block a shot. I'm not necessarily going to block it to one of my players. That's no different than if a steal. If I gamble on the passing lane, I'm either now giving my team an extra possession or
putting them in.
I'm putting them in an easier. I'm now leaving my team with a handicap, right?
See, what you said is factually correct, Smythe. If you get that steal, yes, that's beneficial to your team. But you look at a player like Iverson who gambled a lot. If you reach for that steal and you don't get it, now all of a sudden you're out of the play. And your player has free reign to the basket.
It's the same concept if you like a bad block attempt, right? If you jump to go attempt
and you're
to block,
in the air and you
and the guy passes it to your guy, right?
Yeah.
It's the same risk reward. The difference is a block doesn't always get you the ball back, right? And that's the reason why I value like in terms of what it does to your team, like morale, whatever. Blocks obviously way better. It changes momentum right away. Risk is the same, but the reward of a steal is better in terms.
But
of
do you think a steal should be valued as a defensive player?
Because
because I ask you this because the players that steal the most in the league, what do they usually average? 2 a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paul George.
At most, if you average 3, you're considered great.
Well, three's no one averages.
So how many times are you gambling on that? Right?
Yeah, Paul George averages 2.6. He leads the league right now.
100 possessions in the game, you get 2 steals.
Right, so that's 2 extra possessions though, right? Like,
I know, but how many times did you gamble in that time frame? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
same as how many times do guys miss blocks though? If you use that same logic, yeah.
But the thing is that I find with blocks, it changes the dynamic, right? Because if I block you, you're not gonna you're not gonna approach the basket the same way against me because you know that result might happen again. Or if you do, now you're gonna alter your shot to get around it.
Blocks are almost on the same level as a dunk. As far as like getting players
momentum.
Like,
If
I block a shot, everyone gets up out of the bench.
That's it. That's what I was gonna say. So I was gonna go into next is that it changes the energy level now. Because now if I get that block, or if I block it and I draw the foul as well, it still changes the intensity of the game now. Because now everyone gets amped. Mm-hmm. My team gets amped. My team now wants to pick up their defensive efforts to kind of do more on the end. I become a catalyst. I'm doing something. But if I go for a steal and I miss it, it kind of the morale or the team energy goes down because now it's like I have to hustle now.
But you guys are comparing a successful block to an unsuccessful steal. That doesn't make sense. Like think of the plays.
Wait. How so?
Because if one thing's successful, one thing's not, obviously the successful thing is better.
What I'm saying when I say that is because if you get 2 steals a game, chances are you tried 6-7 times.
Yeah, but if Rudy Gobert gets 3 blocks in a game, how many times think he tries to block a shot?
It's the same thing.
It's the same risk-reward system, right?
I would rather my big man stay on his feet with his hands up in the air.
Right, and not get any blocks.
Yes. You might get a few blocks, but I'd rather my big man stay on the ground, hands up in the air, because you're still in the play.
I'm taking the block shots, I'm taking the steals. But now, like, think of LeBron James is famous for someone making a wing pass. LeBron picks it up, runs down the court.
LeBron James blocks are different.
Not blocks. I'm talking about steals right now. LeBron James is famous for throwing a wing pass. He picks the pass off, has a wide open break to the basket, does a highlight dunk. Everyone goes, wow, it's a highlight play. Momentum changes on that as well. Right?
How many times have you seen LeBron?
Once again,
I understand what you're saying, but how many times do you see him actually miss that? He only goes for it when he knows he's going to get it.
Yeah, but
and again, I compare it to a player like Iverson, who you see him do it. You saw him do it. Like he would go for a steal and miss.
Yeah, well,
and now he's out of the play.
I'm eliminating failed attempts from.
But you have to keep it in. No, that has to be part of the conversation.
Well, people miss blocks all the time too, and that
I know that's not. I'm not saying that's any. I'm not saying that's any worse.
But the thing is, a miss block and a miss steal are different because a miss block is, my initial effort is to stop you from scoring. I'm not necessarily trying to block you, but my main thing is if you're driving towards me, is I want you now to alter your shot. If I happen to get a hand on it, beneficial.
But now, if you're in the air, like say I'm coming at you, you're in the air now, and I don't jump, but you jumped. Now I have options. You don't because you're in the air. You just took yourself out of the play.
Right? How many times do big men commit to blocking a shot and the ball goes to the man they left?
Yeah.
Who then gets an open dunk?
Yeah.
It's the same concept as someone going for a steal.
But that's playing. But now you slid into that's help defense now. If I leave my man to go,
but that's the same thing as a steal. That's the same thing as a steal. You go for a steal, you lunge for it. Now it's instead of 5-on-5, it's now 4-on-5 for that few seconds.
But you are going for a steal is not help defense. Obviously, if the ball's to my far right, everyone knows my defensive position is halfway between my man and the ball.
Yeah.
I want to play that area because there's no point in me guarding my man on man if the ball's on the other side of the court. Because now my back's I'm taking myself completely out of the play because I can't see anything. So you stay in that open position so you can see what's going on. You happen to see the ball come that way. I'm trying to gamble to see maybe I can get it. And if I go and attempt and it's a little bit too high, then from the moment I jump and I know it, I can't even tip it. So now I'm already out of the play.
Yeah.
Right, and then I have to now recover, come back around. Right.
Reality is, the second that you leave your man to go and try to block a shot, or you try to do away from your man, if your man turns around and scores, you cost your team a basket, right? And that's on you. So it happens as many times, I think, on a block as a steal. And
it does. More
so on a block, because the block's usually further away from the basket.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
I would just rather my defensive players just stand on his feet and do all this stuff. Because I think Dwight Howard... Was it Dwight Howard? Dwight Howard famously said... Someone asked him, like, would you rather... what was his question? I can't remember how it worded. I don't know. Would you rather get the ball back or block the shot into the crowd? And he said, I would rather block the shot into the crowd.
Yeah, that's wrong.
It kind of speaks to his immaturity. Right. But I think he was thinking of the same lines of like what we said, like a dunk and a block are almost the same thing for hyping your team. So it's like, oh, I blocked it. Yeah,
but you get the snap. The other team gets the ball back,
but
right?
The other team gets the ball back. You should want the ball back.
Yeah, and the steal is the opposite. The steal is you always get the ball back. A lot of times you get a free basket out of it.
True enough. All right, we're going to wrap this up. We're coming close to the end of the show. I just want to get your quick thoughts on, because we're not going to be around for the Christmas games.
Boo.
Yeah.
List them off right quick. Do you have them in front of you?
Yeah, I'm going to list them off quick. First game of the day, Sixers versus Knicks.
Hey, you know what happened? At the beginning of the year, I looked at the schedule and I said, this sucks. What the hell? This is garbage, NBA. This is horrible. Now, I might watch it.
Right? Now it's like...
that game I might watch because it looks interesting because Ben Simmons is playing awesome.
Just because who it is, right? Yeah. That's really what it comes down to.
True enough. We got that's a good team. Hopefully Porzingis is back healthy playing in that game. Second game of the skid is Cavaliers versus Warriors.
Obviously I was going to watch. Last year I was there, which was fun. This year I can't afford it.
No one cares we were there.
I was there.
I care.
I was there. It was great fun. The first time I ever went to a Christmas game. I wanted to go to a Chicago game this year, but clearly I can't do that.
You could go. It's just not.
You could go to Chicago. You can't watch it.
Hopefully IT is back and playing that game. That'd be awesome.
Is that in? Last year was in Cleveland. This year
no,
it'd be in Golden State.
Okay.
The team that wins always plays. Like the champion always plays at home on Christmas.
Third game, Wizards and Celtics.
I mean,
again, when I saw the schedule, I was gonna watch it. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I might tune in, maybe. Smythe, you?
This is the first time I watch all of these games.
Really?
Yeah, they look good, man.
You're a liar.
Yeah. Washington, I'm like, nah.
You're not watching none of these. You'd be sleeping half of them. Next game, following that, should be good. Rockets and OKC.
Yeah. It's almost a must watch.
Yeah, again, most of these games were done, scheduled out before the trades were made. You definitely got to watch that.
That one, that one should be a high-powered one. Granted, everyone stays healthy. It should be pretty high-powered.
When's the last time Melo played? No, he played last year, right? I was going to say, when's the last time Melo played on Christmas? He played last year. New York was in it.
Well, the Knicks will play every Christmas.
Yeah, Knicks always get on Christmas. It was the staples on Christmas is Lakers, Knicks, and Bulls. This year, Bulls aren't in.
Yeah, Bulls lost that.
You know what sucks? The Raptors never get a game.
Nope.
I would love to.
There is a campaign in the States. I promise you, among basketball people, they want the Raptors to get a Christmas game.
Yeah,
they want it, but it's for you people who are fans of Raptors. It's a money thing. It's not they hate your team thing. It's a
ratings thing.
It's a ratings because they won't get the ratings for that game, even though they're going to be monster in Canada. But
the game could just be in Boston, and it's fine. I don't understand what the issues are here. Like I would love to see Toronto go to Boston instead of Washington.
Yeah, that would have been a good game. Yeah, that would have been a good game.
Would have been good. Last game of the night on Christmas, Timberwolves and Lakers.
No.
I'll probably catch myself watching.
It's a late game. It's a 10:30 start, so I'll probably be sleeping by then because I'm not gonna stay and watch Lonzo Ball, Wiggins, and Jimmy Buckets play a game.
This is the thing. This is because you mentioned Lonzo Ball. People have been really beating up on this kid. He can do everything on the court very well, except score.
Because he's lanky. He's a lanky guy.
He can defend too.
He's like Ingram. Ingram's a lanky kid.
And if that's his only problem, that he doesn't have a shot yet. Because I remember coming out of college, they said his shot was really slow. And actually, I watched a couple games. It's really slow. If that's his only problem, you can fix that. I think this kid's going to be good.
There was a quick side note. There was actually someone had suggested him actually talk to Kevin Martin.
Yeah.
about shooting because Kevin Martin shot
Kevin
horrible
Martin's-
as well.
Oh, yeah.
But Kevin Martin has a great shot.
That shit goes in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Christmas lineup. Most of us will probably watch some of it.
Some of
Maybe if we're all around, we can watch it together, but probably not.
I think I'm working actually, to be honest with
Yeah, some people have wives and some people have girlfriends. I'm single. Ladies, if you're
Ladies.
listening.
Ladies,
Ladies, if you're
you. This
listening.
guy's using his podcast. Yo, this is not Tinder, eh, Mark?
I'm on Tinder too. You can make sure you swipe right.
head over to the Park Daily site to ask Mark Call questions about his availability over the holidays.
But guys, that's it. This is episode 2 of the Putback presented by the Park Daily. I'd like to thank Nash
Yep.
and Smythe for coming out and having some fun with this. We will be gone the rest of the month. We'll be back in January. We'll probably review some other stuff leading into All-Star break and all that stuff. And we got a whole lot more stuff coming up for you guys. So stay tuned. Smythe, you know what to do. Let them know where you can follow this.
You can only follow this podcast on
The Park Daily.
Yeah.
That's
But
it.
you know what? We're going to be on iTunes soon. So everything else will be set up very soon. So we'll have the iTunes link for you guys to subscribe. You can catch the show when we post the episodes. All right. We are out.